All right, dog. Hi, buddy. Good boy. So, go shut that radio off for a second. Anyway, so today we're working on the YJ seats. I've had this Jeep for like 9 years and I have hated the seats since day one, and it has taken me till now to finally do something about it. I've tried a couple times, but like the seats I bought were junk, or basically the seats I bought were junk. So I finally found a decent set. These are pretty good, but they're the wrong color. And they don't have brackets or sliders, nor the trash. I had to dump the trash can out to use it as a sawhorse here. Yeah. Anyway, so we got some. This is a TJ, not what we're working on. Got some vinyl and fabric paint. These aren't quite good enough. This driver's seat here has a rip. They're not quite good enough to run without covers. So we'll do covers, but I still wanted, covers aren't going to cover everything. They don't cover the corners and stuff. So I wanted to dye these black. And then out here, so this was attempt number 2 at getting some decent seats. And the problem with these are that, like, they're getting so hard to find that you have to tell somebody you'll take them before you even look at them in person. So when I got there, these were in pretty rough shape, but they have brackets and sliders. So we're going to put these brackets and sliders on those seats after we get them painted. And then since we're out here in the heat already, we might as well go show you what we're upgrading. Couple Dodges, Comanche. We're gonna get back on the Revival pretty quick. It's not right now. Had to dig up the septic the other day. That was fun. Haven't covered the septic back up because we're seeing if we fixed it before we do. So, at the YJ, here we go. Here are the seats that suck. And the reason they suck is, see how wide they are. You can't scoot them all the way back. They hit the roll bar. And also, they're ugly. That's all the room you have to get in because the passenger seat doesn't flop forward like the factory does. And then they've got these bolsters here that are made out of steel, and there's just a steel rod in there, and it is not wide enough for me, and neither are these. So they suck. They're uncomfortable, and we're gonna fix it. So we want it to end up looking somewhat like this black vinyl, looks like denim, but it's vinyl rear seat. That's what we're going for. Okay, back in here with these. We're going to tap through all these holes because they're kind of rusty, but this one has a broken off bolt. So I'll get to drill that out and tap it. And they're metric 8 by 1.25, so I just got standard taps and dies. Or SAE, I guess. So I went and got this. So I will get that drilled and tapped and go from there. So we're going to start with a tiny drill bit so that we can center our hole in that bolt. we've got the center mark. We'll step it up a size. Number 4. These drill bits are junk. So the good thing is we got it off centered, and that's going to mess everything up. So that's good. Fine. Be fine. If you see sweat pouring off of me, that's if you think you do, that's because it is. It's like 104 degrees here today. Whoops. Find the right vice grips. Okay. I don't know what the dealio is. So what was happening Well, since I got that off centered, that little edge of the seat was catching my drill bits and breaking them. So I got that bigger one to take that out, and then I'll continue on with the small one. Okay, I'm gonna pause you until I get that drilled. Alright, so like I showed you, I got a tap and drill bit set. My tap came with the correct size drill bit. If you get a tap that doesn't, it tells you what size drill bit to use on the box. I really wish these seats didn't have those couple little rips in them, because that vinyl paint looks good. All these other ones are rusty too, so we're going to run the tap through them. All right, I'll bring you back when there's something interesting. So here's that little rip that's going to require me to run seat covers. One right here. But overall, in pretty good shape. And since the driver's seat always wears out faster than the passenger seat, because there's always a driver and there's not always a passenger. So I think I'm gonna do a little swap-a-roo. I'm gonna put the passenger seat on the driver's side and the driver's seat on the passenger side. I think the bolt holes will work. And then, instead of the outside being wore out, the inside of the passenger seat will be a little wore. And the driver's seat will be like new. Anyway, when I do these, I do them just like regular spray paint. I just put a real light coat on, and then I come over with a couple covering coats. As you've seen, I already did the back, so now we're doing the fronts. That's a painted seat. Got the other one left to do. It'll be just like this one, and then we'll slap them in. Like I said, I think I'm going to put the driver on the passenger and passenger on the driver, and I'll let you know how that works out. Hi guys. T40. We're going to take the sliders and brackets off of the donor seats. So we got T40 and a big old impact, and see if it works. So it busted it off in the seat. We don't need the seat, so it works. So there we go. I assume the other one will be about the same. We should see what time the hardware store closes and go get some bolts. Well, I said it'd be the same as the other seat, but somebody broke a bolt off and just welded the bracket to the seat. I broke this bolt off. So I'll get to grind that out, and we'll get a grinder and do that. Probably won't show you guys that though, because I'm running out of battery. I don't want to tighten anything until I get them both in. That way, if you need to, you can move it. I believe I'm gonna get a ratchet to tighten that. Hey, look, a ratchet. We'll pull them down and get them as tight as we can. Now this part's a little tricky. Okay. We'll slide the seat to its forward, track to its backwards most, which means the seat to its forwards most. And then this bar, you gotta get lined up because it's not attached, it's just held in there by distance, I guess you would say. The sandwiches between the two brackets. There we go. You guys can't see a thing I'm doing back here. It's okay though. I'm just putting bolts in. I don't love it, but it's better than it was. I'll show you my old seats before this video is over. And you'll agree that it's an upgrade. So now I'm drilling a hole. Well, that was easy. For my zip tie to go through to tie this back in. Needs to be slightly larger. Flip it around and show you here in a second. There we go. Hand-eye coordination, what's that? I'm not sure. There. Well, at least that butt part will be good and tight. So these little slits and stuff, that's why I took the time to paint this stupid thing. We'll flip it up here and have a look-see. Alright, so that doesn't fit tight at all. That's okay. This doesn't fit tight at all. But we've got these bottom straps all zip tied together, so it's not going to come off. And this back piece, this little thing you stick through, it's zip tied to the bottom of the seat, so it's not going to come off. I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like them. Maybe after they get out in the sun and I don't know. That's what happens when you buy universal seat covers. Here's the deal though, I don't feel like YJ specific ones would have fit much better. Unless you spend a lot. So if I didn't record, put the covers on. I don't love them, they're okay. I zip tied the straps that pull them tight. Zip tied them all together. These seat covers are pretty cut resistant. I'm using a razor blade and can't cut them. Trying to cut a hole for the bolt. Okay. I'm gonna throw a fit right on this camera. No, I won't. I won't throw a fit. I got it too good to throw a fit. I just do. Okay, though. Let's run these in a little bit. Gonna have comfy seats in the YJ. The old ones weren't too bad when I was skinnier. Yow! It's okay. I just smashed it a little bit. This one you guys can see what I'm doing. I got the seat the right way. Yeah, let's do that. Going a little slower this time. Maybe I won't smash my finger. It worked. Didn't smash my finger. Sweet tea. Ta-da! Okay. There it is. In all its glory. Yes. Still have to put the little side covers on. Good catch. Good catch. Hoorah! Hoo-ha! I'm not real sure where the screw holes and stuff are. Are they dry? I just painted them. Wasn't sure if they were dry or not. Oh, would you look at that? Okay. My sweet tea. It's okay, I'll be okay. Looking for the bit for these little screws and I don't see it. Hi, Rocky Dog. Alright, so we got those seats put together. Now we just gotta see about getting these out. Which, it's only 4 bolts, which isn't really a problem. The problem is, a couple of them are supposed to be studs. So then, well, that one's welded. That one's welded. Oh, looks like... Yeah, Rocky, they see you. Hi. Say hi, Rocky. Hi, Rocky. Okay, well, maybe it won't be back. Anyway, battery's going dead. Me and Rocky will come back and see you after we charge and get those seats. I'll show you my old seats before this video's over. And you'll agree that it's an upgrade. Yes, that is the look of somewhat disappointment. Have you ever like just researched and you just knew that you knew what you wanted, and then when you got it you're like, that's not what I expected. So we'll go through this real quick. So these are aftermarket seats that came in my Jeep when I bought it. They were like faded black and all this center was yellow, and then I vinyl painter dyed them 5 years ago. No, yeah, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And then I bought a set of factory seats and brackets because I thought that I wanted factory, or I did want factory. But they were so rusted, the sliders were rusted solid, the bottom of the seats were rusted out. They just weren't good. So when we moved, I threw them away. And then 6 months or so ago, me and Stacy made a trip and bought these seats. And the thing is, you gotta buy them basically sight unseen because stock seats go so fast that they're gone if you don't just say that you're gonna take them. And I don't want to get somewhere and say, I don't want them now. But anyway, we bought those. They had good brackets on it. Well, I had to do some welding on the brackets, but they were workable. It came with this back seat, which I don't need. So I realized that those were rougher than I wanted. So I found another set on Marketplace that was decent, just had some rips, a few little rips. Again, they were a little rougher than what I thought when I got them, but they were okay. So that's these, the ones that you just watched me do. I painted them and put these covers on them and painted these brackets that were on them other seats. And I just don't like them. They're factory seats, they should be fine, but they sit up too high. I don't have tilt, which was always fine before because the seats were down probably 3 inches lower. Those seats were probably 3 inches lower than these. And I mean, I feel like, I don't know, like, you know the little cars where the giant guys in the little toy car? That's what I feel like in these. Like, I'm short and my head is close to hitting the sound bar and stuff, and I just don't like it. So the saga continues on, the search continues on. These will work for now, but we'll have another video of another seat, I guarantee it, because those won't fly. I don't like them. Okay. Anyway, so go do something today. Work on your project. If it doesn't run, get it on the road. Enjoy it. Make it better along the way. That's what we're doing here.